Hey guys, welcome back. Um, I want to start you off with something, quick correction. I felt so silly when I was watching my recording of this. Um, Elo Merrickx. I was running this whole 30 to 47 million years ago. This guy being older than this guy. I was like, what the heck's going on here? And I'm sorry. Elo Merrickx is thought to resemble the 60 million year old ancestor shared with whales, and so 60 to 47 million years old. Okay, so this guy comes first, this guy comes second. Because I knew it was supposed to be like land animal to sea, and I got mixed up with my numbers, so that's my mistake, and I apologize. On a bright note, I did figure out a cool little video to animate this for you in case you're having a difficult time envisioning what it's like for a land animal to become an ocean animal. Let me show you what this looks like. Here we are. In for a swim, whale evolution from the museum in New Zealand. So this is nice. It has no volume, so you just have to deal with my voice. There you have a land animal, a mammal. I don't really know what it is. Ooh, look at him go. All four legs, swimming like a puppy. A few million years go by, and he's got, less fur. Still has some cool whiskers, though. Maybe some webbed feet. Swimming more with the hind feet and tail now. Few more million years go by, longer snout, lost his cool whiskers, a weird skull. Looks like he's swimming mostly with the tail, caught a fish, which is cool. Goes up for breath, nice. Yeah, good tail. He's still got that hind leg though. We'll wait a few million years. Here we go, look at that, boom, no hind leg. He now has flippers, whiskers are gone, long snout, teeth, awesome tail. I think he may have developed a blowhole in that time. I don't know. Maybe not. But he's a good swimmer now. And boom, that's where whales came from. So check that out. You can even visit the exhibit in New Zealand. I'm sure it's awesome. At any rate, that's the evolution of whales. If it still doesn't make sense, there's a 45-minute documentary with this aquatic puppy dog, hippo, antelope, ancestor. And there's a 4 minute one, a 9 minute one, whatever, however you want to go for it. Go to YouTube. It's a great place if you can get past the really distracting first ad or two. Anyways, let's talk about continents now. Um, According to the evolutionary worldview, which I want you to be very familiar with, of course, for your test and just for understanding, doing well in general biology courses in college. At one point, we had a supercontinent called Pangaea, and over time, that's split up into fragments. If you look at a map of the world, it kind of fits together like a puzzle piece. Um, as young Christians, I don't know if that should necessarily bother you, because in Genesis it says that God gathered the land into one area called land, and the sea, there was one sea, and so that uh, kind of indicates that it wouldn't bother me too much if there was just one chunk of land called land and one sea called sea. So I'm really fine with the idea of a supercontinent. That I don't lose sleep at night over that idea. So the idea is that it's split into fragments. They drifted apart. We called this continental drift, and we think it's mostly due to these really large masses called tectonic plates, which slowly shift around, colliding into each other, pushing underneath of one another, things of that nature. So there's some evidence for continental drift. It's not just looking at the globe and saying, wow, well, this edge of this country is shaped like this edge of this country, South America and Africa, you could just push them together like a puzzle. There are other evidences of this. The same types of fossils and the same types of rock formations exist on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. South America and Africa seem to fit like puzzle pieces. Magnetic poles of gigantic rock formations point in different directions on different continents, which gives us the idea that when these rock formations were formed, they were all formed in alignment with the North and South Pole, but as those plates have drifted away, they've also kind of shifted, sort of clockwise or counterclockwise, and that would change the magnetic directions in those rocks. Certainly there are fossils of tropical plants and animals in the Arctic, which gives us an idea that it probably started up somewhere a little bit warmer close to the equator and drifted down with time. So there's some ideas there. So the idea is that Earth's outer layer has cracked into immense plates, and when this magma wells up, it can form an undersea ridge, and it can push old rock at the opposite edge into a trench. And so, as these plates slowly shift around, the movement transports continents to new locations, like a really, really big, really, really slow conveyor belt. These tectonic plates can move about 4 inches per year, which your book gives the example of being about half as fast as your toenails grow. So that was kind of a good analogy. Uh, Here's the San Andreas Fault. It's 800 miles long in California, and we think it is the boundary between two tectonic plates. So that's kind of cool. So you get ocean ridges, plumes of magma well up from the Earth's interior to drive the movement of these plates. New crust spreads outward as it forms at the surface, forcing adjacent tectonic plates away. And so here we have magma welling up, forming a fault line. Here we have magma welling up, forming a volcano. Here we have magma welling up as one plate is pushed under another plate, forming a trench. Here we have magma welling up, forming a ridge, which, I mean, with time, that could potentially become an island, maybe. Here we have magma welling up, forming a hot spot. With time, that might even become an island. Here we have another plate diving under another plate, forming a trench. And then here we have another little undersea volcano that's also welling up. So all of these things work together. Faults or ruptures in the crust where the plates meet. The diagram shows a rift fault where plates are moving apart. The photo shows a strike-slip fault where two plates slip against one another as they move in opposite directions. So there you go. Plumes of magma can rupture a tectonic plate. They're called a hot spot. The Hawaiian Islands, we're pretty sure, were formed from magma that continues to erupt at a hot spot under the Pacific Ocean. Well, that's kind of cool. So supercontinents, we think they've over time kind of formed and split up, maybe as many as 5 times since the Earth was formed. The idea was that there was even a supercontinent before Pangaea called Gondwana, and Gondwana eventually collided with, I don't know, something else and became Pangaea. So there's transitions between these layers in sedimentary rock that mark our boundaries in time, or at least we think that they do. Each layer's composition offers clues about the Earth's environment at the time. The fossil record of life at that time is encased in that sedimentary rock. And so when we put this all together, think Grand Canyon, maybe the Badlands, where you get these bands, gray, white, red, tan. Those bands are something of a time scale. The chronology of Earth's history would be a way to look at it. Chronology is a study of time. So a study of time, the history of the Earth. Those in the creation camp might argue that that is settling by density for different types of soil after Noah's flood. And of course, evolutionary worldview, that is additional soil that's been laid down over time, either by dead and decaying plant material or by sedimentary deposition in the ocean or some other method that I'm not all that familiar with. I'm a biologist, not a geologist. I'm sorry. I can ask a geologist if you'd like. And then here we have, wow, look at that. Okay, this is your this is your time scale. Okay, eons, eras, periods, epochs, millions of years ago. Okay, planet forms. I don't know, ballpark between friends, maybe 4.6 billion or something like that. We don't really have much. We think 200, or rather 2,500 million years ago, the Earth's crust starts to originate and form. All we really have are bacteria and archaea cruising around here. They start to make oxygen, we get a little bit of aerobic metabolism that evolves, which is amazingly, astoundingly complicated. We start to get eukaryotic cells. We start to get fungi, protists. Uh, about 540 million years ago, about 485, the Earth is going to thaw because it's not frozen anymore, and animal diversity is going to explode. Most of our major groups of animals, like trilobites and shelled organisms, that kind of stuff, they all show up. We have first land plants, the first fish, the first corals. Gondwana moves towards the South Pole and becomes basically Antarctica. Um, Major extinction event, we got marine invertebrate radiation, land fungi, vascular plants, fish, terrestrial animals even, tetrapods appear, plant diversity, we have trees, we have forests, we have ferns, we have leaves, seed plants, all that kind of stuff. Another major extinction. We go up to the Carboniferous period. Sorry, I should have been reading these for you. Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, which of course means carbon. High atmosphere oxygen levels give us giant arthropods. They give us spore-releasing plants like ferns. We have giant lycophyte trees. We have coral forests. Ears evolve and amphibians. Oh, that's nice. I'm happy I have ears. That's cool. What else do we have? Does that say penises evolve? Yep. There you go. Penises evolve in early reptiles 299 million years ago. Cool. Vaginas evolve later. Huh. Well, a little smarter every day, aren't we? Okay, Permian extinction. Let's see. Supercontinent Pangaea, world oceans, adaptive radiation of conifers, cycads and ginkgos. Relatively dry climate leads to drought-adapted gymnosperms and insects such as beetles and flies. We then have the Permian extinction, which is where like 95% of everything living just dies instantly. And that stinks. Then we go up to the times that you and I are more familiar with, like Triassic, Jurassic, Cretaceous. And so Triassic is the recovery from the major extinction. We have new groups like turtles, dinosaurs, pterosaurs, mammals. Ptero means wings, so winged dinosaurs basically. Jurassic, age of dinosaurs, lots of vegetation. Gymnosperms, let's see, gymnosperms are naked seeds, so think pine, think spruce, think cycads, is that what they're called? They're like these weird little fern-like trees. We get birds. Birds evolve. That's cool. Thank you, wings. And Pangea breaks up. We have Cretaceous, where we get a warm climate with lots of dinosaurs, lots of insects, and flowers start to show up, which is fun. Flowers start to diversify because flowers are very successful. Sharks evolve. That's neat. Dinosaurs disappear. That's sad. 66 million years ago. Bye-bye to the dinosaurs. And then we have all these weird little scenes for epochs. We don't have epochs way until the Cenozoic, but during the Cenozoic we start to give these little names of epochs. But the Paleogene and the Neogene and the Quaternary tropics and the subtropics are going to head towards the poles. The climate's going to cool down a little bit. The dry woodlands and grasslands are going to emerge. And mammals are going to do well in the grassland that's a little bit cooler. Reptiles, especially big reptiles, are going to struggle in a cooler climate. And then way up here, 0.01 million years ago, modern humans evolve. That's you and I. And then major extinction event is now, oh no, major extinction event's now underway. Shoot. Well, guys, hopefully we're not toast. Anyways, shoot, I think that's almost the end of you guys' chapter. Uh, that's the Grand Canyon, layers. The top is the most recent, the bottom is the oldest, and here are some of the fossils that you will find as you progress through time via these rock layers. And as far as animals, it's really pretty skinny. There's lizard tracks and lizard tail tracks. Riveting, isn't it? Okay, points to ponder. How did the widespread discovery of fossils in the 19th century help support Darwin's view of evolution? Why was extensive travel a key ingredient in the development of Darwin's evolutionary thought? And finally, do you think Darwin could have drawn the same conclusions if he had only studied species in a single area? So, that's our first chapter of evolution. I hope you find it a little bit engaging because we are going to do about 6 more this year. But it's going to be a good time. I think it's my favorite thing to teach and probably my favorite thing to study. So, thank you for your time, and we'll call it a chapter there.